Hi viewers, welcome back to our channel Make Math Easy. So in the last class we completed the topic polynomials and we tried to discuss all the important possible 3 mark, 4 mark and 1 mark models in the polynomial chapter, right? So in today's session let us learn a new concept called as a quadratic equation. Though it is not a new concept, there are few points that you have to understand here. So let's get started now. Okay, so as you see the polynomials, we learn how to what are the solutions for a given quadratic polynomial or an expression. Here it is an equation indicating that it is equated to some constant 0 and we are saying it as a quadratic equation. On what basis we are calling this as a quadratic? Because the highest power or degree in the given equation is 2. That's why we are naming it as a quadratic equation. So in the polynomials concept I gave a very detailed explanation about how we can use the concept of a degree or highest power and what and all it will indicate. So let me just quickly recall that part and then we will go into the continuation quadratic equations. So degree will tell you the how many solutions that a particular equation or expression will have. So for example, if any given polynomial or expression or equation has the highest power as a 2, indicating that it will be having 2 solutions. And also we discussed that generally degree cannot be negative or even it cannot be a fraction. And one more important point here, degree we will see generally for the variable and what is the highest power that a variable contains in a particular equation or expression. Here as we are discussing with the equations, we are completely concentrating on the equations part only, not on expressions or polynomials. So degree cannot be negative or a fraction because we are saying that the significance of the degree is to let you know the information about how many solutions that a particular equation will have. So I cannot say that I have a -1 number of solutions or I have a 3/4 of the solution. It doesn't make any sense, right? So that's why degree of any polynomial or expression or equation cannot be a negative or a fraction. Now coming to this, we are calling this as a quadratic equations because it is having the highest power as a 2, which indicates that it will be having 2 solutions. So in the last class when the polynomial discussion itself, I discussed that the solutions that you are getting at the end, that means those are the values of x. For example, if I take x square plus 5x plus 6, I can do the further factorization and I will get x plus 3 into x plus 2. So we are saying these are called as a factors, and if you have to get the solution for the expression, what you have to do is you have to equate individual elements to the 0, then you will get a different values of x, as in x is equal to -3 and x is equal to -2. So these are called as in solutions of the expression or zeros or roots of the given polynomial. But I told you there according to the terminology, so according to the concept we have to use the terminology here. If it is a polynomials, generally we will use the word solutions or zeros. If it comes to the quadratic equations, generally we will use the word called as in roots of the given equation. But still the purpose is the same. All are getting satisfied by the equation, and then those are only called as the solutions of that given equation or expression. Purpose is the same, but according to the concept we have to just change the terminology. Sometimes in the question also they may mention instead of roots they may mention it as zeros, but as I said, all are conveying the same information only. There is nothing change over there. Okay, now so we are saying that the highest power or the degree is 2. So does it mean that any expression or equation which is having the highest power as a 2, can I consider it as a quadratic equation or not? This is the doubt that we generally get. So I will just give a simple example to solve your doubt. See, for example, if I have a question like this, root over x square plus 4 is equal to x square plus 1 whole square, let us say. Okay. So you can see one thing here, the highest power available in these equations is 2. I am accepting, but still this I cannot say straight away as a quadratic equation. Why? Because I have a further scope of simplifying this term. Like I can do the expansion on the right side, x power 4 plus 1 plus 2x square. I just used a plus b whole square is equal to root over x square plus 1. From here itself we can come to a conclusion, but I just want to give you a general idea. What is the general idea here is, in the given equation, if you have any further choice of simplification, please go ahead with that further simplification and then only come to a conclusion about the highest power in the equation. So I have a further chance of simplifying as by doing squaring on both sides, then it will become whole square like this. So you can see here the highest power or the degree I may get in this equation is 8, because this x power 4 whole square is nothing but x power 8 you will be getting. So this is the highest power or degree. That is why I cannot say the given equation straight away just by seeing whether it is a linear or a quadratic. Right? Hope this point is very clear for everyone. I will just quickly repeat it. If in any given equation, if you are looking for any further simplification, please go ahead with that simplification. After simplification only, please come to a decision about what type of equation it will be based on the highest power or degree that in that equation existing. Okay. So I will just give you another simple example. See, for example, if I have a question like this. X minus 1 by x minus 2 plus x minus 3 by x minus 4 is equal to say some 7. So just think it for a while. Do you think is it a linear or is it a quadratic, or what type of what type of equation it can be? See, it's a very simple thing. As I told you before itself, when you have a further scope of simplification, please do that further simplification and then come to a conclusion. You can see here, I can take the LCM as an x minus 2 into x minus 4, then x minus 1 into x minus 4 plus x minus 2 into x minus 3 is equal to 7. So if you just expand all these things, you are getting a power 2 equation, something like x square minus 5x plus 4 plus x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 7 times of x square minus 6x plus 6. So it is very clear that if you simplify, you will be getting something like a 5x square, and then this is minus 10x and then minus 42, so minus 32x. This is 10 minus plus 32. You are getting something like this. So whether you are getting roots or not, or solutions or not, it's a secondary thing. If you just observe this one, the highest power available in the simplified equation is power 2. So this is a quadratic equation. But if you just observe the powers in the given equation, the highest power available is 1 here. So you may think that this is a linear. But see, there is a scope for further simplification. So after doing further simplification, we are ending with a simple result like this, which is giving the information that it is a quadratic equation. So one more point that I want to stress out here, in the based on the highest power available in the given equation, please simplify it further if you have any chance, and then come to a conclusion about what type of equation it will be. Otherwise, don't come to any conclusion just by seeing the question itself, whether it will be a linear or whether it will be a quadratic or cubic and all. Okay. So this is one important point that you have to notice with respect to identifying the highest power or degree in the quadratic equation. Now, let us go into another concept of the quadratic equations. So we are saying that the quadratic equations will have a highest power or degree as 2, which indicates that it will have a 2 solutions. So for instance, if I take this equation 4x square plus 13x plus 9 is equal to 0. Let us say if I am taking this. So we know in our class 8 itself we learned how to factorize a quadratic trinomial, because it is having the 3 terms, so it is a trinomial. So how to do? The first step is you have to take the coefficient of x square and constant. These two product you have to take. 4 into 9, that is 36. Now look for the factors for 36, that is 1 into 36, 2 into 18, 3 into 12, 4 into 9, 6 into 6, and remaining factors are just swapping the positions only. So we utilized this 4 and 9, still we left out with only this 13, that is means plus 13 here. So now out of these factors you have to choose one factor in such a way that summation will give you 13. So it is very clear that 4 and 9 will give you together as a 13. So this 13 can be split as 4x square plus 4x plus 9x plus 9 is equal to 0. 4x can be taken common, x plus 1. 9 can be taken common, x plus 1. So finally 4x plus 9, x plus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 9 by 4, minus 1 you are getting. So here one important point you have to notice again. This is product of two numbers is equal to 0. So product of two numbers is equal to 0. That means if I have a something like a into b is equal to 0, it is not necessary that both a and b should be 0. It is enough for us any one of this, either a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. It is not necessary that both has to be 0. So if I do in this way, 4x plus 9 is equal to 0 my first case, x plus 1 is equal to 0 second case, you will get x is equal to minus 1 minus 9 by 4. So the highest power or degree here is 2. So only we are getting two different solutions or two solutions or two roots for this quadratic equation. Now let us substitute x is equal to minus 1 in the given equation. 4 into minus 1 square, 13 into minus 1 and then plus 9 is equal to 0. You will get 4 minus 13 plus 9 is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0 you are getting. Okay. So let us substitute x is equal to minus 9 by 4 also. You will be getting 4 into minus 9 by 4 whole square, that means 81 by 16 minus 13 into 9 by 4 and then plus 9 is equal to 0. So let us simplify it further and let us check what you are getting. So this is 4 here. So LCM if you take, this is 4, this is 81 minus, this is 130 minus 9. So yeah, 9 this is a 27, 117, sorry, and then plus 36. You are getting 117 minus 117, 0 by 4 is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0. So what is the reason for me to substitute the values of x is equal to minus 1 and minus 9 by 4? Here we are saying that after doing the factorization we are getting these two as the zeros or roots of the given equation. So how you can conclude the given numbers, the obtained numbers as the solutions of the given equation, when it can satisfy the given equation. So if you just observe here in the given given question, x is equal to minus 1, if I substitute I am getting LHS is equal to RHS. Even for x is equal to minus 9 by 4, I am getting LHS is equal to RHS. But my question is it necessary or is it will it happen always that the solutions that we are getting, will it satisfy the given equation always or not? Actually it is not. I will just give a simple example here. then you can come to know there may be cases where the solutions that you are getting or the roots that you are getting may not satisfy the given equation. See, for example, if I have a question like this, root 3y plus 4 is equal to say some y minus 2. Okay. See, if I ask you what is the highest power in this equation, you should say we cannot come to any conclusion just by observing this part. Why? Because you have a further scope of simplification. So do the simplification. 3y plus 4 is equal to y minus 2 whole square. 3y plus 4 is equal to y square minus 4y plus 4 y square minus 7y is equal to 0 you are getting, right? Now substitute that, do the further simplification. Y into y minus 7 is equal to 0. Again, product of two numbers equal to 0 means either of the numbers is 0. That means either y is equal to 0 or y minus 7 is equal to 0, y is equal to 7. So this is the given equation for us, and this is the simplified equation. From this you can come to a conclusion that the highest power or degree is 2. So it's a quadratic equation and it will have a two solutions or two zeros, that is why 0 and 7. Now let us substitute y is equal to 0. You will be getting root over 3 into 0 plus 4 is equal to 0 minus 2 implies root 4 is equal to minus 2 we are getting. But root 4 is 2, you are getting 2 is equal to minus 2, which is a false statement, right? Let us substitute y is equal to 7 here. So if I substitute y is equal to 7, you will be getting root 3 into 7 plus 4 is equal to 7 minus 2. That is root 25 is equal to 5, which is 5 is equal to 5. This is a true statement only. So that means what actually happens here, this y is equal to 7 is only satisfying the given equation. This y is equal to 0 is not satisfied. So this type of root y is equal to 0 is called as an extraneous root here. Right? So there may be, after simplifying the given quadratic equation or what type of equation it may be, you may come across a case that solution are not again satisfied by the given equation. The root that it is not getting satisfied by the quadratic equation or any type of equation, those roots are called as an extraneous root, right? Now you may get a doubt here. We got the values of y is equal to 0 and 7 using this equation only, and how come these are not, this 0 is not again satisfied by the equation? Because see, here this root is there, no root you removed by doing the squaring on both sides. In that case what actually happens, if I have a 2 or a minus 2 on the other side, if I do the squaring on both sides, both of these answers will get coincide with 4 only, right? Instead of giving you the different answers, it is going to give you the same answer. That means whether if I have a y minus 2 or 2 minus y, still I will be getting the same answer. Because of this thing, you are getting one of the root is not getting satisfied by the equation again. So the root that it is not again not satisfied by the given equation, those type of roots are called as an extraneous root. Okay. Now in